Welcome to the video. I'm Ryan, triathlon.com, also known as a plan man in certain circles for training plans. This video, we're going to talk about the practice swim. It's not just something that's like you go fart around in the water for a little bit and then come back out and you're like, no, that's kind of a waste of time or whatever. Hopefully, these will help you to maximize, if you get an opportunity to do a practice swim, you decide to take them up on it, a few ideas that you can actually implement and consider while you're doing that to kind of make the most out of it going out there, other than just kind of piddle farting around in the water and then coming out because you got nothing better to do. Excuse me. So let's dive right into it. Number one, it's not time to showboat. Don't go out there and be like, well, I'm going to go out there and swim to the first buoy and back as fast as possible and show these people that, I've got some speed on me. It's okay to maybe do a couple little bursts and sprints or whatever to get that blood flowing and whatever and work on breathing. But it's not time to go out there and put out your best performance in swimming. Save that for the race. Really not time to showboat. People are not out there to showboat during a practice swim. Hopefully you're not one of those people. So, number two, use it to get swim muscles warmed up. So that is, if you go out there and swim for a minute, you're just like, kind of piddle fart around and whatever and wading around the water and get back out. It's not really helping. You're not really warming up the swim muscles. A good 100, 200 yards, maybe turn on the watch just to keep track of how far you go. Nothing crazy, nothing wild, nothing that really gets you tired or winded or anything like that. But something you're working the swim muscles to get them kind of warmed up and get the blood pumping, blood flowing to the swim muscles. Number three, do hit water if you have some pre-race nerves. So if you're a little bit jittery, a little bit anxious, sometimes just standing around is kind of the worst thing to do. You can go out and get a little bit of energy out, but like I said, don't go out there and showboat and just spend all your energy out there and then come out kind of tired. But it's a good way to get kind of the nervous energy out, to go out and swim a little bit, a couple hundred yards, swim back in, and then get kind of squared away for the race. So a good way to get rid of some of those pre-race nerves, hopefully. Number four, do not hit the water if it's cold, and it will be cold waiting around after the race to start. That is the worst thing you can possibly do. I've done it before. You go in, you swim around, thinking, well, I'll get warmed up or whatever, and you come back out, and it's cold, and you sit there and you start shivering, even in a wetsuit. There are some times where it's just cold, and the last thing you want to be is cold before the race starts, shivering, wasting all that energy, getting cold, and being even more anxious and anything like that, because it just really makes you shake, and you're really losing a lot of energy. Your body's trying to warm you up. So, water's cold, the air's cold, consider not doing this practice. Oh my gosh. Don't yawn on race day, whatever you do. But you don't want to be cold sitting there after the practice swim. So in that case, it might be better to just maybe do some dry land stuff and get warmed up that way. So you don't have to do the practice swim. If it's open, don't feel obligated to go do it if you think it's going to make you uncomfortable afterwards. Number five, do hit water to make sure wetsuit and swim gear is all squared away. So if you hit the water and you notice, man, there's a lot of water just went in the back of my wetsuit, maybe you don't have it zipped up all the way. So consider that. It's like, I didn't have it, all the way up to the top notch or whatever. Or you left your cord out and it got tangled up and it pulled over the wetsuit. And you're like, I need a better way to secure my little cord. Or you found out the strap of the back was rubbing you the wrong way, so you readjusted that. And your swim goggles, you need to tighten them up. And it's a good thing you got out there and swim and practiced it. Or maybe like the little buckle, the strap of the connector there in your goggle, maybe it wasn't secure all the way and like your goggle kind of fell off. It's like, it's good to find that out now during the practice swim rather than the race start. So it's an opportunity to kind of make sure your gear is all squared away, wetsuit's good, the goggles are good, your chip timing's on, your chip is on your ankle and secure. Just making sure you earplugs and hose plug, whatever you got, make sure all that stuff's squared away. So check your gear. It's a good opportunity for that. Number six, using a wetsuit, it will help get some water in the suit to warm it up. So you'll see some people, there's two ways to do this. They go in there and they just let some water in, especially if it's a little bit cold. It's a little bit of shock, but it's good to get that over with and practice swim, especially if the air temperature is a little bit warmer. Get it in there and it creates an insulating layer and it warms up with your body heat and it keeps it in there. And that way, when you start your race and the water comes in the wetsuit, you've already got a little bit of water and moisture in there. So it's not a complete shock if it's a little bit cooler in the morning and the water comes in your wetsuit. It's going to come in through the zipper, through the neckline or whatever. But it's an opportunity to get it warm. And if the water's cold, the air's cold, consider taking a bottle of water with you and just kind of dumping it around the neck of the wetsuit. And it just gets it in there, and it's not super cold water, especially if the water you're swimming in is super cold. Gets it in there and allows your body to kind of warm it up and create that insulating layer. So when you do jump in the water, it's not a complete shock when that cold water comes in your wetsuit. So something to kind of look at, to consider while you're doing the practice swim. Number 7, this is not time to make sure you can do the distance and swim the entire course. So again, that kind of goes to number 1. It's not time to showboat, and it's not time to do a bunch of distance before the race starts. It's not time to go out there and be like, I just don't know about this. I've never done this distance before or whatever. I'm going to go out there and just see if I can do it. Now's not the time. Now's not the time to go out there and struggle to figure out if you're going to be doing it or not. 100, 200 yards tops for a practice swim. Get out of the water. Get ready for the race. Keep your energy for the race. So not time to do the entire course. Number 8, practice sighting buoys and getting feel for conditions. So if it's a little bit wavy, a little bit some currents, some whitecaps even, if you're doing an ocean swim or something like that, practice swim is a good opportunity to go out there and practice sighting a few of the buoys to find out if this is going to be really difficult, if I really need to be sighting for stuff, or if it's just, this is a normal swim, just a nice easy glide, just look out for the next buoy, and I've got no problems finding the next buoy. Or if the buoys are really small and you're trying to sight the far buoy and it's just like, damn, that's like really difficult. That tells you it's like, I need to sight the nearest buoy because I can't see that far down the course. So, good opportunity. Find out what the layout is, and then see if you can sight the buoys and what you need to do to be able to handle the conditions of whatever's going on in the water. Number 9, be mindful that you will probably not be the only one out there. Last thing you want to do is just put your head down and swim out 100 yards and 100 yards back. More than likely, you're swimming to somebody. You don't want to get smacked in the head. You don't want to smack another person in the head. You don't want to knock somebody's goggles off. You don't want your goggles knocked off. You don't want to get punched in the face. You don't want to get hit in the back. So make sure that you're paying attention out there. You're sighting not only for the buoys and practicing, but you're also looking out for other swimmers and sighting to make sure you don't go head on into somebody else. Seen it happen. It's not very fun. Nobody got seriously injured or anything, but it's just not. It's a rude awakening to start the race. You have to get up an early time frame anyway. You're half asleep anyway. And to go out there and get smacked in the face on a practice swim is not something you want to do. Trust me, I've seen it. Haven't done it. Don't want to do it. So, that wraps it up. I told you there's going to be quick tips. Hopefully this helped you out, and hopefully my dog groaning in the background doesn't throw you off. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. If you got any comments, put them in the comments. Facebook, YouTube, I get notifications. If this helped you out, give it a like on Facebook, thumbs up. Give it a like on YouTube. I guess give it a thumbs down, but at least put a comment why you didn't like it on YouTube. Like I said, if you got any comments, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell notifications, see future videos, and when I produce more tips or course-specific content or anything like that. With that, we'll wrap up the video. Hopefully this helped you out. We'll see you in the next one.